Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Victory Forge. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I distracted myself from a few other projects to make these two paper Star Destroyers, one in red and one in blue. Now, if you wanted to do a Star Destroyer of your own, I've included the link in the description. Now, these paper Star Destroyers were actually me trying to find a reference for a different project I'm going to do, this Book Nook with 3D printed Star Destroyer and Millennium Falcon. A second other project I'm going to do is to actually make a Star Destroyer on the same scale as this Millennium Falcon that I have printed. So after printing the 5 pages of the model, the red I had glued onto this thicker foam board, and this was too thick for most of what I wanted to do. On my second attempt, I printed the blue and only glued a few of the pieces onto a thinner piece of foam sheet. After having glued all the pieces on the raised foam, I had to reprint a lot of the pieces on just a cardstock because the foam was too thick. You also want to make sure you label the pieces as you cut them out. Then we bend and fold all of the edges that are going to be your glue points, and you're ready to start putting it together. A lot of these accent pieces I kept on the raised foam to give it some depth, whereas other pieces like the landing bay and then the superstructure on the top of the Star Destroyer, you have to actually bend the paper, and that's why I couldn't keep them on the foam. With my first try in the books, the red model finished, I decided to attempt it again, this time in blue with the benefit of hindsight. For this one, let's go into fast forward. So as you can see on my second attempt, I was a lot smoother and neater with my cutting and gluing. I still did the accent pieces first because then when I go to glue the superstructure in place, it gave it kind of a frame to wedge up against. With all of the accent, superstructure, and bridge pieces glued into place, I can then attach the two halves together, and the final step will be to add the tractor beam housing and the shield generator domes on top of the bridge. And that is the finished model of the ISD Chimera in blue. With both red and blue done, now it's time to play with the models. That's going to do it for today's episode of the Victory Forge. If you liked the Star Destroyer, I've provided the link in the description so you can make your very own. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Victory Forge.